Well, good evening, West Ham fans. Let's talk about the academy, shall we? Yes, everybody. Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe. Well, busy day on the channel already. We've had ratings. We've spoken about Hammer's headlines and Paqueta, and maybe it might not be the 4 to 6 weeks he's been out. The Doom merchants would have assumed that he is, but it might be 1 to 2 weeks. He might be back for the Arsenal game. He might not. It doesn't look like it's as long as first feared. Anyway, this show is nothing to do with that. It's all about the academy. And what we do is this is episode 2 in our series. And the idea is just to give you guys some understanding of what's going on in the academy. We do it in 3 sections. We do like a news section, then we talk about the loan section in terms of players out. We've spoken about the first team loans this afternoon in Hammer's headlines, and then we talk about the games that have happened in the last week affecting the U18s and U21s, and talk a little bit about what's coming up as well. And eventually we're going to get the likes of Kenny on and Mark and maybe Potsy, just to give us some colour about the academy, because we've got a bloody good academy. 18s and 21s, we've got some fantastic players coming through there. And I think it's important that we talk about them separately, because it's probably part of a conversation in the first team. Inevitably, that's the pathway, but actually in themselves, we've got enough to talk about. That's for sure. Let's start off with the big news, really. According to ex-WH employee, we are very close to signing a new head of recruitment. We spoke about the Hammer's headlines, and just sort of give a little bit more colour to it. He said that West Ham are have apparently appointed already Ross Embleton from Colchester United. Also had a spell as manager at Orient, I believe. He's got about 25 years experience working in various coaching setups. And apparently he is now our new head of academy, head of recruitment. He's currently serving his notice period with Colchester, but he's apparently going to join the West Ham fraternity. I think it's a really interesting role, getting someone whose sole purpose is to go and look for these gems in other academies and other foundations, setups, and get them at a young age. So rather than, you might have to pay a few $100,000, rather than paying 10, 15 million pounds 4 or 5 years down the line. I think it's a very clever way of doing it. We've seen the likes of Sean Moore, Callum Marshall, Patrick Kelly, all have been plucked from other setups, notably those 3 all from Northern Ireland. But we see Callum now made his debut for the under 21 for West Brom. We'll talk about it in a bit. And I think that's definitely the way to go. So it's exciting times in terms of, again, it makes sense. It's actually something which makes sense in terms of an appointment. And I know he's not breaking first. I'm not talking about the pathway. I'm talking about the moment, the academy, and getting, if we, rather than having 1 or 2 really good lads, if we've got half a dozen good lads coming through, it just improves what we can do. It improves our options as well. So hopefully Ross will be a good addition to the setup. Speaking of other news, obviously transfer window closed on Thursday last week, and obviously we didn't buy anyone for the first team and ended up shipping a few people out. We also shipped out Dan Chester's former sort of right wing, but he's been converted into a right wing back very successfully by Steve Potts in the under 21s. He moved to Salford City for the end of the rest of the season. Fortunately, he wasn't in the matchday squad as they beat Wrexham on the weekend 3-1, which is quite surprising, because I think Salford around 17th, 18th, 19th, 7th, that in League One, and Wrexham were just in I think they were 3rd, and I think they dropped to 4th. And obviously we all know, Wrexham with Ryan Reynolds and whatnot. So Robert Kennedy. So, and obviously Elliot Lee, former West Ham graduate, academy graduate, plays for Wrexham. So yeah, and hopefully he'll get some game time. And obviously Salford City, obviously owned by the class of 92, or mostly owned by a class of 92 as well. So yeah, good move for him, and hopefully he'll get some game time. Elsewhere, let's have a look who else we've got. Heggie He's having an absolute stormer at the moment on his loan spell. He's currently playing for Den Bosch, my favourite name, and he's kept a third consecutive clean sheet for Den Bosch. They played Helge, I think it's Helgerton or something. It's a really strange named side on Friday, and he kept his third successive clean sheet. He spent the first part of the season at Stevenage, and has since moved to Den Bosch, who play in the second tier, the Dutch Eredivisie division outfit. So they're sort of the championship in essence in Holland. Helmond, that's it. Helmond they played. They're currently, I think they're 3 points clear of their direct rivals, Telstar, in the sort of the relegation battle. I think they're 18th now, and they've had four successive draws. I think they won I think they're undefeated in the last 5 or something like that. So he's really doing really well for them. And he's playing fantastically. There's 3 clean sheets in a row. You can't be complaining for that. 270 minutes. He hasn't conceded, at least. Elsewhere, Freddie Potts played the full 90 minutes for Wycombe Wanderers as they won 2-1, isn't it? 3-1. 3-1 away to Cheltenham Town. In League One, he played the full 90 minutes. He didn't. Gideon Kadoa was not involved in the matchday squad. He made as Potsy's 5th consecutive start in all competitions for Wycombe, and doing really well. And they've really started to motor a little bit more now. So disappointing for Gideon not getting any minutes, but Freddie continues to thrive in that central midfield position for Wycombe Wanderers. Elsewhere, who have we got? We've got Marshall. Callum Marshall made his debut for West Brom. Obviously, he signed a new 3-year deal on the Friday before last, and then was sent out immediately to West Brom for the rest of the season. Obviously, he didn't play in the FA Cup game against Wolves because obviously he was cup tied because he played against Bristol City at Ashton Gate the week before. But he made his full debut for West Brom as the Baggies won 1-0 against Midland rivals Birmingham City. He came on, I think it was about 63rd minute, I believe, for the striker. And they won thanks to Andreas Weimann, 83rd minute winner. Looking at Callum, he got about half a dozen touches in the game. I think he got a shot, not on target, but an encouraging start to him. And as I said, I have reservations about him going there. I think, will he get the game time where he might have done, for example, at Wycombe, for example. But look, good luck to him. I hope he proves us all wrong. I hope he proves me wrong. And finally, in terms of the loan signings out, Kian Forson. Little Kian Forson. He's on loan at Dagenham and Redbridge. Played the full 90 minutes as they had a victory away, a vital victory away for them at Rochdale in the National League. Played the full 90 minutes there. I think now to 14th, 5 places clear of Kidderminster in the 4th and final relegation spot. So doing well, and obviously another 90 minutes under the belt for Kian. So congratulations for him. In terms of the sides, play in 18s and 19s, 18s and 20s ones this week, the week just gone, mixed bag in the cup. Both playing the cup games, and it was a mixed bag. Obviously, the under 18s got knocked out of the FA Youth Cup 2 weeks ago against Man City. 2 weeks ago, 2-1 in extra time to Rush Green. And now we've got knocked out by Man City again in the League Cup by 2-1 again, but not in extra time. Really tough game, actually. Really tough game. Finley Herrick in goal. Pulled off a number of really good saves. My player at the moment, Edris Golombekis, 16-year-old sort of centre-back or centre-back, right-back position. He made a couple of really good clearances off the line as well. He's brilliant, honestly. Edris Golombekis, one for the future. Really like him. I think he's a real baller, as the kids would say. And yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. Obviously, we've got maybe bigger fish to fry. I mean, Man City are Man City, and they're very, very strong. We know that. Obviously, they beat us in the national playoff last year. Obviously, we won the PL2 South. They won the PL2 North as well as in your respective leagues. You then play each other for a national playoff. We lost that quite convincingly by them, to be honest, at the Etihad. at the end of the season, which then they qualified for the Europa Youth League. I believe it's how it's used. We are currently second, I believe, in the PL2 South. Spurs are just above us, I believe. I want to say. Are they above us? I think they are. We went above them, and then they scored, then they won, so they're above us now. So I believe they're still above us. Unfortunately, yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're still above us. They're 4 points clear, and they've played one game less than us. So yeah, not. But we're pretty comfortable in second position. We actually play the team in third. We play Fulham at the weekend. So it's going to be a tough game. I believe it's away as well. So tough game to go to Fulham. They've got an okay home record. I think they've only lost one away from home, where we are undefeated at home. In terms of the 21s, where the under 18s lost and didn't progress in the cup, the under 21s won and progressed to the knockout stages of the Premier International Cup. They beat Dinamo Zagreb. I don't know why I put the accent on, but I did. And I'm going to go with it. They beat them 3-1, wasn't it? 3-0 on Wednesday. Last Wednesday, just gone at the Chigwell Construction Centre. They played the European games, the international games at Dagenham Redbridge, where the rest they play at home at Rush Green. Get 3 goals. Louise Howe scored, which was good. Very early on, about 5 minutes gone, from a Ollie Scarles corner. As you know, Ollie played was part of the matchday squad yesterday. So good to see him get some minutes. We're through to it's our third straight win in all competitions for the under 21s, and puts us through to the quarterfinals of the International Cup, the Premier League International Cup. And then who else scored? We had let's have a look. Junior Robinson, the right back, he scored. It was we should have got in a lot more goals ahead, to be honest. I think their keeper made a couple of good saves as well. And then Cam came on, Cam Schweier, second half. I like Cam. I think he's a really hard worker, particularly forward. And then set up Junior Robinson. Junior Robinson scored. Again, he's playing really well, actually, in sort of right wing back position. And then Sean Moore scored again for his second game in consecutive games. And his goal last game was an absolute fucking belter against Stoke City. You can watch it back on the YouTube. But yeah, very, very good. Joseph Nang was starting in goal for us as well. The likes of, Patrick Kelly, Orford, Forbes at the back again, Michael Forbes. We'll start. What we're going to start doing is start introducing more of these players. So it's not just about Mbama and Marshall, but there's guys like Sean Moore, Patrick Kelly. You've got Ezra Mayes. You've got Junior Robinson, Caelan Casey. Michael Forbes. You've got some really good players there, which we'll be introducing more and more as you sort of hear their names more regularly. Their next game is on Friday. They play Chelsea in the PL2 at Rush Green. So get yourself down there. 7 o'clock kickoff. It's going to be a really good game, as always. It's always really good down there. Hopefully it'll be as cold. It's warmed up a little bit, and it's been fucking freezing down there last few games, but hopefully it'll be a bit warmer. Chelsea, London Derby, under the lights. £5 to get in. Cheer on the boys. You see some of the future stars of West Ham, hopefully, in that squad. The likes of Ollie Scarles and Lewis Orford and, George Earthy. They'll all be playing. And and it's a £5. You can cheer him on, and at least the music's going to be banging because I'm spinning the tunes at Rush Green and the announcements. It'll just be like you're watching the West Ham network, because obviously I do the announcing there as well. And that's it, my friends. That is your Academy show. Let me know in the description. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything you want us to cover in the Academy in terms of any players you want me to talk about more often, or profiles, so you've got a bit more information about them, all that type of stuff. It's a learn. This is going to develop as it goes through the weeks, because I think it's really important to spend some time talking about the Academy specifically. But until next time, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, and come on, you bloody Irons.